Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're talking all things Monday Night Raw on the road to Money in the Bank. Quick reminder, this Saturday, there is a brand new show in the wrestling world called Collision. We're going to be doing a live watch-along and our immediate review. We'll see just how compelling it is. Might determine whether or not we do it week 2.
What, a watch along and review week 2 afterwards? No, I can tell you right now, it ain't happened in week 2. That's on a Saturday, man. I got bowling, I got karaoke, I got bar, I got...
Is that the order in which you do those activities on a Saturday?
Well, usually the order is nothing.
Okay.
I sit around and do nothing on a Saturday evening.
Yeah, good. That's good.
And then there's a massive gap.
Yeah.
And then probably about 5 other activities before the 3 I listed.
Okay, all right, I like it. Sounds like a packed Saturday. So confirmed on the 24th, no Collision watch along. That actually, you got me off the hook, man, because I didn't really want to do another Saturday in a row. This is June,
this is a special thing. It's the first show. Yeah,
it's a pretty chill month in terms of like watch alongs and stuff. So we've got Collision coming up this Saturday. Should be fun, anyways.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what CM Punk has on his mind. And of course, there's that big main event. But this is the Tuesday episode, so we're talking about Monday Night Raw. All sorts of stuff going on Monday Night Raw last night. I thought it was a pretty solid episode. Of course, headlined by a couple of major things. Number one, looks like we're getting Finn Balor versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank. Now, this comes in the middle of some Judgment Day intrigue with Damian Priest telling the rest of Judgment Day, hey, leave me alone. Him and Finn Balor, who's been talking to Jordan Devlin the second week in a row.
Yeah.
And this week he got the win on his own. Still is like he got the clean win, but then afterwards the heel tendencies kicked in, told Gunther, unless maybe it's a babyface thing for hm to tell Gunther to go beat the shit out of Matt Riddle. I don't know, Larson.
You say pick the bones? Is that what he said?
He said pick the bones, yeah. So yeah, let's start with that. There was a promo that Finn Balor had to deliver with to Seth Rollins after 7 years of waiting, and that crowd really seemed more interested in singing Seth's song. I saw some discourse on Twitter in terms of, A, man, that crowd was really trying to make it about themselves and sing the song, or B, the other side of that, hey, this is just goes to speak to the popularity of Seth Rollins. What was your take on the promo, and how do you see this going down at Money in the Bank, dude?
I mean, Seth's going to win at Money in the Bank. First of all, I don't believe Finn's going to win, unfortunately. I mean, I'm literally wearing a Prince Devitt shirt, so obviously I'd love to see Finn get that win and carry that World Heavyweight Championship. I'm pessimistic that's going to happen. As far as the singing, on one hand, you got to know that's coming. I don't know to that degree, because usually at a certain point the crowd be like, all right, the performers are trying to perform, let's shut our traps and let them do their jobs. This crowd seems completely disinterested in that. What they could do is use that for Finn, his character's motivation even further. Seth said, hey, you're bitter. Hey, you're bitter. You're resentful. And if the crowd literally is so into Seth and singing his song, they won't allow Finn to say anything. That's only going to feed into Finn's bitterness and resentment and makes him more angry. I'm curious to see, because at the end of the promo bit, Seth kind of laid out a fork in the road for Finn. He says, if I get bitter Finn at Money in the Bank, you got no chance, pal. If I get the Finn who beat me at SummerSlam 2016 become the first Universal Champion, that Finn has a chance. So we're seeing essentially Seth advocate for Finn to turn face, while we kind of have Damian Priest in the midst of a face turn himself. Both those things ain't going to happen. And then you got Finn talking to Jordan Devlin. Is Finn going to bypass Judgment Day and ask Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough, to help him?
I didn't bat an eye when he said his name, because that's still how I
to maybe help him, try to help him at Money in the Bank. I don't know. I mean, as far as the crowd singing Finn's song, I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily take that as per se. When I think about a crowd taking over a show to entertain themselves, it's usually doing something that's not involving what's happening in the ring.
Sure.
Beach ball mania.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
As far as, we were there the first time that happened in Orlando, the Raw after Mania. Yeah. No point do I recall a beach ball being in the ring or beach ball being involved in the story. Crowd, for whatever reason, wasn't into what was happening at the time. Someone got a beach ball, and that became the show.
Well, this
wasn't that.
The comparison I've seen is the what chance. What do you think about comparing what we saw last night with people getting whatted?
I felt like it was an arena full of people who were voicing their enthusiasm for Seth Rollins.
That's what I think as well. I think the what chance is sort of like, we're bored of this and we have no interest in what you're saying. And Finn, to a degree, was getting whatted as well.
Yeah.
I saw one take online that said Finn was shook. I don't think he was. He's been doing this for 20 years. I don't think Finn gets shook.
Yeah, I didn't.
And when you
if anything, he rolled with it about as good as you can.
When you look at now, what I do think is when you look at the meat of the promo, number one, he pivoted by egging them on. I think he felt this was a moment. I really do, because he egged them on. You think this guy who's been doing this for, I don't know how long he's been doing it,
20 years or whatever,
like 20, whatever it is going to get shook about a crowd chanting, showing, as you say, and I agree, showing their enthusiasm for Seth Rollins. Now, I do think that the thing that Seth might need to, and again, Seth's been doing this for 20 years, so who am I to say this? But I'm going to make a point about Roman Reigns to talk about Seth Rollins here.
All right.
What does Roman do better than anybody else when it comes to whoever he's doing a promo with? He sells the promo. He sells whatever they're saying. If somebody says something to shake the character of Roman Reigns, the performer Roman Reigns, Joe, has no problem expressing that and rolling with it and showing the vulnerability of somebody who is rattled. Now, I know the point of Seth Rollins, he's got supreme confidence, but I do think that there needed to be, he left the character Finn Balor looking like an asshole there at the end. Said, oh, you got no chance against me, bitch. And then he leaves. In order for me to think that Finn has any chance, I got to see Seth look a little vulnerable. And I feel like sometimes he's reluctant to do that. And maybe it's sitting at the tree of Triple H, where Triple H will make you shake the other person the way Triple H tried to make Roman Reigns get over him crotch chopping left and right. And with Seth, I feel like he needed to sell Finn Balor's promo a little bit more last night.
I'll go to something that Damian Priest said later on the show, is that he told Finn, Seth is having you go up, down, all around. He's trying to drive a wedge between us. And if Seth feels pretty confident, not so much that he can beat Finn one-on-one, which I don't doubt he has confidence he can do that, but if he feels like, all right, I'm doing a good enough job driving a wedge between Finn and the rest of Judgment Day, that if I take Judgment Day out of the equation, full stop at Money in the Bank, me, Finn, one-on-one, especially this Finn, I feel like I have a good chance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of this crap talk and that stuff was to drive that wedge, where you have Priest, who very well could have beat Seth last week if not for Finn coming out and making his presence known when Priest asked him not to. Chip on the shoulder. I know Priest, kind of was, hey, we're cool, Finn, this week. But over the course of the last couple of weeks, there has been some distance between Finn and the rest of Judgment.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And whether that's intentional mind games on Seth's part, just a differing dynamic between the members because they have their own individual pursuits. Seth exploiting those tensions to help himself and getting in Finn's head. That's kind of what I felt like it was more than anything else. Now we have a couple more weeks. Finn will get the upper hand in some capacity between now and then.
I hope so, because I do want to think, and I'll be honest with you. Look, I do think that this World Heavyweight Championship of Seth Rollins, there needs to be a bit more of a spirit of unpredictability behind it.
Yeah.
Looking at the field as it stands right now, Damian Priest is going to win this. He's going to win Money in the Bank. 1,000% he's going to win Money in the Bank. Judgment Day is the focal point of Raw. I think it's obvious that Triple H loves Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. Seemingly Vince is on board with it. And they're on board with Damian Priest. They saw what he did at Backlash. They see what kind of matches he puts on. And they understand we have an opportunity here with Damian Priest to make a star. We really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look at the field. Yeah, I know LA Knight's there, but he ain't the guy. Damian Priest is the guy that you can see they are legit about, they legitimately like Damian Priest and they see him as a guy who could be a champion sooner than later.
Yeah.
I don't know that would be a world champion at Money in the Bank, but there's some intrigue there. You got one member of Judgment Day taking on Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. If you put that match on after the men's Money in the Bank and Damian Priest has the briefcase, I don't know what the moment is, but there's a moment there that could totally happen. Yeah. I think you're right in that Seth Rollins is going to beat Finn Balor, but that doesn't mean there might look. I mentioned this a while ago when we talked about, like, a couple weeks ago when the first schism between Judgment Day seemed real. Maybe it was just last week. And we're like, oh my God, they're not going to break up Judgment Day, are they? What if this whole thing, what if Finn, who seems perfectly willing to put Damian Priest at the 4, what if this is a big ruse to get that title in Judgment Day? Now, this is me fantasy booking some crap that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
But what if Seth's entire motive for calling out Seth Rollins isn't to beat him for the title? It's to beat the shit out of him and soften him up and take him to the limit so that fresh Damian Priest can show up with a briefcase and bring that title home to Judgment Day. And then down the line, and then if that happens, you can tell the story of Finn, hey, I sort of gave you this title.
Yeah.
I should have more of a say. Like, you should, and you get some tensions there. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but that'd be a lot of fun. That'd be some intrigue right there. And plus the unpredictability of that World Heavyweight Championship coming right off Seth Rollins. Yeah. For him to then need to try to get it back.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that would be fun. I don't know if that's the direction they're heading. It'd be great to see Finn laying on the mat laughing at Seth Rollins like he laughed at Edge when Dom Mysterio turned on him. Personally, like the reason right now there feels like there's a lack of intrigue in that match in terms of who's going to win has less to do with Seth's promo last night or the Seth Finn promo, and more with the fact that Seth just beat Finn 4 weeks ago to advance to the finals of the tournament to crown the first World Heavyweight Champion. It's not like they haven't crossed paths in 7 years. They had a match about a month ago that Seth won. So in that sense, it's interesting they're coming back to that story so quickly, like no one referenced it last night.
Yeah, I know. That was a beat that they had to skip over because you want the drama of, hey, it's been 7 years since I had to say this. Well, why didn't you say this in advance, like during the tournament? Like, you guys literally went one-on-one and Seth won clean. But yeah, in terms of the promo, I kind of feel like Finn took it as a moment to milk and see if he can have his cake and eat it too. Did his promo get a little bit lost in the shuffle? A little bit. And even when Seth says things like, they're singing your promo out of the building, it's not a promo. And I'm not doing this like, I'm old school wrestling. It's a challenge. Like, this isn't my GM. Why are you referring, you're getting your promo sung out of the building? He's not selling the weight of what Finn's saying. And part of it, honestly, as a viewer, Seth already beat Finn, just like you talked about. So, I don't know that but there should be some weight behind this challenge, behind this promo. And I feel like it needed to be. So that was my only problem with it. I just feel like even if Seth were to say, okay, everybody, chill the fuck out so the guy can talk, because I'm taking him seriously because he's Finn Balor and I should take him seriously. So I don't know. That was my main thing about it. But I agree with you when it comes to like the actual singing that was happening. It's an enthusiastic crowd, and Seth Rollins is the most over guy in the company. Like, you milk that, you take advantage of it as much as you can because it's been a while. Now that WWE's on this creative upswing, you want to spotlight that. People are really into Seth Rollins, and I think that's a good thing. I do.
Yeah. Leisha Harding here. Gift 10 memberships. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, Leisha, every freaking day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's talk about Rhea Ripley. We're on the topic of Judgment Day. She got a new title, the WWE Women's World Championship. Yeah. And it looks exactly like Seth's, except it's got the white leather belt instead of the black leather belt.
Yeah.
I understand the philosophy of having the titles look similar, because then it doesn't seem like there's one is held in higher prestige than the other. I get that.
Yeah.
And and like the titles individually look cool.
Yeah.
Something to be said about a variety of aesthetics, though, in terms of the designs of the belts. It obviously is a corporate philosophy to have a lot of synergy. Gosh, on my corporate talk here.
Oh, I love it. 2.0 disruptive
Synergy.
technology. Yeah.
Yes, between the belts on each show.
Yeah.
Just something visually a little different would be nice too. But it's a small thing.
Oh, I dig it. I like it. I think the title looks amazing. That white leather against it. My only quibble about, I think this looks better than the men's. I think the white strap looks better than the black strap.
Yeah, it does.
I can't stand the black on the front, like the black trim on the front.
Yeah,
can't stand that. I wish that was gold. But that's a quibble. No, I think it's fine. Look, dude, WWE is a big deal. They send these titles out.
I know.
They send these titles out to teams and stuff.
I get it from a corporate sense, 1,000%.
Dude, I know I'm an Attitude Era. A guy who started watching in the Attitude Era. That was like prime for me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't need the Winged Eagle title. And I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know how you feel about this, but the women's title from the Attitude Era, I couldn't stand that title. I thought that did such a disservice to all the women. It was ugly as shit. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with any of that, and I understand from a corporate perspective why they do it. It would be interesting to keep the inspiration for the belt similar, just take a slightly different approach with it. That's all. And like the world heavyweight titles, the logo still seems too bulbous for me.
Yeah, no,
like,
I feel
it feels like it protrudes. Maybe that's because of it's not just all gold.
It's the black. I guarantee
it could be.
If you put that in gold, you wouldn't even notice. You'd be like, "Oh man, this looks great." But yeah, no. Look, I'll be honest with you. It looks like $1 million on Rhea Ripley. I wish.
And Rhea sold it wonderfully.
Oh, she did. Yeah. My thing is, I wish that they would go back to every once in a while there's somebody special that just fits for a custom title.
Oh yeah,
like their own version of it. I would love for Rhea Ripley to somehow custom this up a little bit.
Get one with a purple belt on it.
They're not going to do that. They use the side plates for that. And that aspect of the corporate WWE, in my opinion, does sort of suck. Back then when Stone Cold had his own Smoke and Skulls title.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, by the way, no word yet from Phil McDonald after the controversy of yesterday, you firing him.
There should be any word. He's fired. He's gone. He's not coming back.
All right. Well, let's hope that
Better
sticks.
Not.
I don't like
Better
confrontation.
Not.
I don't like confrontation, but you seemingly thrive in it, given what we saw yesterday.
I mean, if he were to pop in today, like, I'm tired. I'm a bit grumpy.
How are you tired? We didn't start work until like 11 o'clock.
I don't
today,
know.
man.
I slept like 7.5 hours. I woke up this morning. I felt like I barely slept. I don't know.
Oh, no. Looking at this Money in the Bank field, because Damian Priest qualified yesterday against Matt Riddle. We've talked about this. I think it's Damian Priest to lose. Give me another situation that's realistic.
No, it's Damian Priest or it's LA Knight. It's really nobody else.
Yeah, right. Do you think so? There's only 6 people right now.
Yeah. Oh, just wait. Logan Paul's going to be on Raw next week. Just wait till they add him to the field.
Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed is in the thick of a feud. His main thing is I didn't get in Money in the Bank, but I'm killing both these guys.
Yeah.
He's going to get in this thing, and they're going to expand this shit to 8, aren't they?
It's entirely possible. I mean, literally, when I saw that Logan Paul was going to be on next week, I was like, oh, okay, they're going to put him in the match.
That's
what
a
else? I know. Raw is in Cleveland next week. That's where he's from.
Yeah. Is he allowed to go to the UK?
I don't know. He said several times over that he doesn't like Cleveland on air on Raw.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
The character of Logan Paul doesn't like Cleveland. So I don't know. This is not like some great homecoming.
Is KSI going to be there in a Prime bottle again?
I don't know. Not announced. Not announced.
Was legitimately funny. That was pretty funny.
So I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if he did eventually. If we had like a Austin Theory situation last year, where he gets added to Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I could see that as well. I think they're going to expand it to 8. You look at the field right now; it just looks really small, and it's a lot of mid-carders. But I see Damian Priest, and I'm like, okay, it's him. If it's LA Knight, if they want to blow the roof off the place, if you really want to blow the roof off the place, it's LA Knight. It really is. But like legitimately going forward,
they're laying the groundwork for Damian Priest to have a major story looking forward.
Could feel it, yeah.
And Money in the Bank would be a huge part of that if he were to win it. Yeah. Ever
LA
since
Knight,
Backlash, yeah.
I feel like LA Knight, it's like they're gonna take steps with him, but they're not entirely sure that it's not just the that's over. I firmly love LA Knight. I think he's great. I think the character is awesome. He goes around just checking fools. It's great. But I get the feeling that like Triple H and Vince are probably, well, I think Triple H probably likes him. Yeah. I think Vince is probably like, pump the brakes a little bit on this guy. Yeah, because I don't know that it's not just his, that's over.
I mean, LA Knight's gotten over every place he's ever been.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Because he's.
Here's the thing: if he had been, even after they ditched the Max Dupree thing, and had him return to LA Knight, if he'd actually won some matches, it would feel more likely that it would happen this year.
Well, let me ask you something though: is part of his popularity right now that thing where the crowd wants to see it so bad, but the crowd knows that they don't want to push this guy, and so they've been having him lose, and it's like, come on.
That's entirely possible.
And there's that rewarding experience of like, they heard us, they understand what we're looking for, and now we're getting what we want.
That's entirely possible. But at the same time, like, if I'll put it this way, if he was involved in stories that seemed to lead to a natural progression of, oh, this guy is on the trajectory of being a future world heavyweight champion, then that would make sense, win or lose.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But you would assume that if they're building someone up to be champ, they would actually win more often than not.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah. But yeah, no, you love to see the people get
behind somebody and have them, advance up to the main event for sure.
That's a great story. Yeah, Romeo Barnes here in the YouTube chat says, I don't understand the LA Knight character at all. Yeah,
there really isn't much to understand. He's pretty one-dimensional.
He just goes around checking fools. That's like, and there's no vulnerabilities. There's no self-awareness.
None.
Yeah. None. Yeah. He's like hardly a human being. That's why he's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
He's kind of what I would love to be, Larson, a man with no self-awareness, oblivious to everything, and just goes around checking people.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to be that person?
That's your goals, life goals.
That's my goal. It's totally relatable. Yeah. Anyways, before we continue on with our recap, let's go ahead and pay some bills. What do you say, Larson?
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from our sponsor, HelloFresh, Steve.
Yes.
According to my watch, summertime is nearly here, which means it's time for me to get started getting that beach body going.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to get me some Balor abs, I need to start eating right. I need to start eating well.
Probably a good idea, man. So look no further than HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. With HelloFresh, you'll get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered directly to your door. And thanks to their calorie smart and protein smart lunch and dinner options, HelloFresh can help you reach your Balor ab goal, friendo. Yeah.
I used to be a bit of an amateur in the kitchen. I basically cooked like the same 4 or 5 things most of my life, but HelloFresh's 40 weekly recipe options have gotten me out of my recipe rut. Every recipe comes with easy-to-follow instructions as well, so even a cooking amateur such as myself can get a delicious meal on the table for my entire family fast. Beef bulgogi stir-fry is a huge hit here in the Larson house, and my kids, who have actually really gotten into cooking of late, have enjoyed helping me prepare the family-friendly recipe options.
HelloFresh also helps take the guesswork out of what to make for dinner and allows you to spend less time meal planning and prep so you can spend your summer doing the things you want to be doing.
Like getting some Balor abs. Yeah. So right now, friendos can try America's #1 meal kit by going to HelloFresh.com/GIR16 and use code GIR16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/GIR16 and use code GIR16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping.
Yeah. Anyways, before we continue on here, want a quick reminder. If you're watching this live, you're watching this on VOD, do us a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Lately we've been having just a little, some people have been asking about this. We've been having like an issue with YouTube. They take forever to process our live streams after the fact. So for the past couple of weeks, we've been on some of our episodes. A lot of our episodes have been re-uploading them. So if all of a sudden something happens with the episode, we sort of figured out a way to prevent that from happening. like people having the video just cut out on them. But we're aware of the issue. We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we're
new to this. We're new to this.
We're new. We've only been doing this a couple of weeks, so we appreciate your patience.
That's a fun joke and everything. We're doing this for like 14 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, like, can they just stabilize this freaking platform? Can they just get YouTube to work right the way it should?
Just today before we got started, you're like, I hear a high-pitched squeal. I was like, that's probably my fan. And we were just trying to figure out why suddenly it's an issue.
Yeah.
Can you hear it now, Steve?
No, it's great.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Hopefully it remains that way.
Who said this? Somebody said this over here. Somebody, quote the Raven, was talking about Hilton.
In what?
I don't know.
What capacity?
He said Hilton isn't real. Hilton is.
Oh, because Mayor
Hilton
Planet Houston says LA Night is real, though.
Oh, yeah. My favorite
real.
My favorite Hilton moment ever was me telling Mr. Dope, "Yeah, you can go sit next to Hilton over there," and he looked at me. Hilton's real. I don't know, Dope. I don't know.
It's a tough question. I mean, you could write an entire philosophy book on just that alone.
Also, before we get with our Raw review, you mentioned earlier Alicia gifted 10 memberships. Of course, if you are a channel member, which you can get, if you haven't been gifted one yet, you can get there by hitting the join button here on YouTube. Whether you're live or on demand, you can hit join, become a channel member, get access to our weekly bonus episodes. The big June predictions challenge is about 2 weeks away. John Hosey's putting up the Big Blue Predictions Championship at Forbidden Door. Should be a lot of fun. Those are always a lot of fun. And then, of course, right after that, we've got the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which will be its own predictions challenge to win our Money in the Bank. It's basically a bonus. It's an advantage possibility going forward for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, you can cash in whenever you choose to.
Right, exactly. So we got that coming up for patrons, patreon.com/Steven Larson, or for YouTube channel members. So all you got to do is click join or go to the $5 tier over there on the Patreon. We got a bunch of questions after our Raw review, and those are also from YouTube channel members and patrons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also,
I guess we get what
we're filming Ask Steven Larson later on today, so we can do some other stuff tomorrow.
Yeah.
So those threads are up now for patrons, YouTube channel members. So if you have questions for Ask Steven Larson, the Wednesday episode, drop them now.
Yes, please. Might as well jump into it. Show kicked off with Adam Pearce in the ring. Present Rhea Ripley with her new WWE Women's World Championship. So he says, after Rhea comes to the ring, Rhea, on behalf of WWE, it's my distinct pleasure to present you with this official recognition of your status as new Women's World Champion, unveils the title. And as said, it looks like this is the World Heavyweight Championship, but with a white strap on it.
Who presented the men? But I know Triple H did Roman. Did Pierce do Seth, or did Triple H do Seth?
Triple H did Seth.
Whoa.
I know.
Ooh, controversy.
I know.
Anyways.
Pierce did the two women's titles. I know.
Yeah. So maybe they requested it. So Rhea puts it around her waist. Looks like $1 million. She grabs a mic, says, Dom, tell them how amazing I am.
Well, Dom runs to the ring and he puts it around her waist.
Yeah, exactly. And so the crowd, of course, they just rain boos all over Dom. It's amazing. He says, this is disrespectful to mommy and to me. Everyone knows behind a great woman, there's a great man. I'll always be there to support her. Adrenaline in my soul. Every thought out of control. Do it. Okay, anyways, Cody
That's
comes
enough,
out.
enough. So he comes to the ring. Damn it. He says, so Kansas, what do you guys want to talk about? He says, we absolutely could talk about you, this beautiful new championship, well-earned, deserved, and all the respect from me to you. We could also talk about my match with The Miz later tonight, but let's try this out. Let's talk about this. And he throws to video of Dom calling Cody a bad father and insulting him, and then Cody saying, hey, Dom, Ray's made a lot of mistakes. I'm looking at one of them. So then Dom slapping Cody. So Rhea and Dom, they're laughing about that. Cody kind of smirks and says, it would have been nice to hear Brock's music to know he accepted my challenge, but I don't think he has the balls to face me again. But you slapped me across the face, thought you can get away with it. Why not try this on? You versus me, Money in the Bank. And Dom says, as you all saw, I'm not afraid of anyone in the world. I took Cody Rhodes and embarrassed him just like I would anybody else. So Cody's like, I'll make it clear. Dom, it's a yes or it's a no. So Rhea and Dom, they talk it over. And Rhea says, my Latino heat is more of a man than anyone here, anyone watching, certainly more than you. And then Cody's like, again, I ask. And then the Miz blasts Cody from behind as Rhea says he accepts. So kind of got lost in the action a little bit.
Yeah, Miz jumped the gun a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, Cody sends Miz out of the ring. Rhea and Dom go up the ramp, and that's when Rhea says, we'll see you at Money in the Bank.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I love just how fast Dom jets out of the ring whenever he sucker punches somebody. It makes me laugh. Anyways, we have Cody Rhodes versus Mike after that. And Cody Rhodes.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, it's me, Mike. So Cody Rhodes picks up the win here. What did he get him with? Just a Crossroads? Yeah. Cody Cutter and then Crossroads to get the
Miz
win
basically
here.
couldn't do shit towards the end of this match. He looked for a figure four. Cody fends it off. Looks for a skull crushing finale twice. Cody's like, all right, I have your playbook in hand here, Miz.
Right, exactly, yeah. So anyways, then we have the Alpha Academy. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, so Becky is so Kevin Owens, Sammy, and Becky are backstage. They're all chatting about something. Who knows? They're all friends. This is what I like about it. It doesn't have to be anything story-related. They're just, they're all good guys and they're all talking.
Yeah.
And then you see the Alpha Academy doing some training. Maxine has an Alpha Academy singlet. And so Otis is teaching her like a what is it, arm drag, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that comes into play later. Becky comes to the ring. She's there to face Chelsea Green. And then but she has a promo first. Says the man's come around to Wichita, and the man is going to Money in the Bank. So I've been lucky to be enough to do a lot in my career. Never won Money in the Bank. Says this year I got a good feeling. We've all been conditioned to think the number one person is the person who holds a championship. We got a brand new shiny championship on the women's side. But when I think about it, the reality is it's the person who's the number one is the one who holds the power. And who else is more powerful than the person holding that briefcase? They have the power to make the champion scared. They have the chance to intimidate them. It's got me fired up, and all this talk is getting me tongue-tied because I love power. Because she had sort of flubbed a line. Didn't matter because she's Becky. She's great. She says, so when I have the power to make a champion scared, and when you're scared, you do stupid, crazy, and dangerous things. I like that because it makes me better. When we think about people being scared, we only need to look at Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus was so scared of being exposed, she got an insurance policy in Zoe Stark, which brings out Zoe Stark. And this promo was not like the best, but you know what, man? Sometimes you got to get up there and stumble a little bit before you get better, Larson. Yeah,
reps
exactly.
are important. So yeah. Zoe says, okay, I've heard enough. We all know what you've done. Good for you. But the one you'll never get to do is beat Trish Stratus. At Money in the Bank, you can add not beating Zoe Stark to your list of failures.
Yeah, and Becky says, Zoe. I have so many failures, but I learned from every one, and that makes me great. But speaking of learning, we haven't learned much about you. A few things I know. You're special in this ring. You've got finesse and power. You're built like a pit bull, but you lack personality. And Zoe just screams, you didn't talk about personality, brother. Have you looked in the mirror? You didn't become relevant because of your personality. You became relevant off someone breaking your face. Now you scratch and claw trying to hold on to your fame, and off of that, you're holding on to Trish Stratus. I'll tell you this, Money in the Bank, I'll break your face again, and I'll make you famous.
And then Becky says, well, you ain't got to wait. Yeah. Come out here right. You come down here right now, and then Chelsea Green's music hits.
Yeah.
So her and Sonya Deville come down towards the ring, and Zoe kind of...
She tries to mad dog him a bit, but they just sort of don't flinch, and it made Zoe look kind of silly.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sonya says, Chelsea says, I'm sorry. Music down. Shh, thank you. And continues, I'm sorry to interrupt. Zoe, was it? Zoe gets upset. And then Sonya says, I don't know her name, but relax. We're here to address the elephant in the room, which is the blatant disrespect from Becky last week. Chelsea says, that's right. You attacked me. The only reason I didn't fight back was I don't want my partner to lose her rightful place at Money in the Bank. Sonya says, I know I lost because I was tending to my friend Chelsea. And Becky says, enough talk. Chelsea, get in here. Zoe, take a seat, and I'll show you why I'm famous. And then we had Becky Lynch versus Chelsea Green.
Yeah. There was a bit where Becky and Chelsea go to the outside, and Becky just starts throwing her into the barricade a lot.
A bunch.
Almost get counted out, but they don't. They go back in. Let's see here. So Becky misses a manhandle slam, and Green gets a 2 count on a roll-up. And then Becky transitions that into a disarmor, gets the win. Not a surprise. But Chelsea Green's great, man.
Yeah, Chelsea is great. So we get a replay of Seth and Priest from last week. We see backstage, Judgment Day, walking. You got Priest, Rhea, Dom, who are just kind of chatting back and forth amongst them. And the Finn is just really stewing in the foreground.
Yeah, he's visibly distracted.
Yeah, he's upset about something. So the camera kind of pushes in on Priest, Rhea, and Dom. And Priest says something in Spanish. And Rhea hits him on the arm. Dom laughs. And Finn is like no selling this whole thing while they're joking back and forth about Dom beating Cody. And then Rhea finally says, Finn, are you okay? He says, I'm good. I just got a lot on my mind. And Priest says, you know what I have on my mind? Riddle getting his reckoning, and I qualify for a Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, all I ask of you guys is when I go out there, I'm going out there alone. And he walks past them all, and Rhea just goes, he's got it.
Yeah.
And then her and Dom were chatting.
And Damien sort of made, when he said, I'm going out there alone, he's sort of staring at Finn as he walks by to go out there. So yeah, man.
Beef.
Yeah. Beef.
There's beef there.
Strong beef. After that, we had Damian Priest versus firm depth guy Matt Riddle.
Oh, yeah. It was a good match, though.
No, Matt Riddle's really, really good in the ring. He's a lot of fun to watch in the ring. You cannot buy a win to save his life, though.
And he's going to get wrecked by Gunther at Money in the Bank.
Which is going to be a phenomenal match, by the way.
It'll be really good.
It's going to be a really good match. But he's going to get wrecked. Of course, Damian Priest wins this with a razor's edge. This is pretty rad because Riddle's looking for like a springboard, but Priest just sort of gets behind him.
It was really well done, too.
And gets him up for a razor's edge, hits that, gets the win. And then Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, come a gentleman, come down. And then Priest looks at him and says, pick the bones. And then they proceed to pick bones because they beat the shit out of him. And then Kaiser holds him up and big old chop. Oh, man. Yeah. That was pretty great.
That was pretty great. And then we're backstage. Kathy Kelly's interviewing Cody, and she asked him, do you have an opinion on that match with Dom being made official? And he goes, official? Only official because of Mommy. I don't think Dom would have accepted on his own. That's a recurring thing here. Judgment Day gassing Dom up and helping him with cheap shot after cheap shot. Dom is going to get hurt. Here's a problem. Brock's not going to show up. Dom won't go away. I'm not naive. April 2nd. The hand falls in the third pinfall, third count. And everybody who watches Raw thinks I'm going to give up and think I'm going to run away. What did I do? What did I do? I ran out there. That's why I smile and lose my mind when they sing my theme every second. I'm clinging to finish this story. Brock, Dom, no one is knocking me off the path. Money in the Bank, London. Good luck, Dom. Thank you, Kathy.
Oh, just eloquent.
He mentions the adversity, too.
I know. Yeah, he's by name. Yeah, he said adversity, capital A. Great stuff. Finishing the story. Speaking of which, we finished our story when it came to the Red Bun Whopper over there at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. It's out today. If you guys remember, the old school Friendos remember 7 years ago, we tried to do
Been that long. That's crazy.
Time flies, dude. We tried to do a review on the angriest Whopper at Burger King. It was a red bun. Problem.
Not for us.
They didn't give us the red bun. One of my favorite videos we've ever done. It might be peak Stephen Larson. So we did the sequel because of this Into the Universe 2 Spider-Man show. And Burger King did like a tie-in where they have a red bun. And so we did it. So find out if we actually got the red bun Whopper this time. If they actually gave us a red bun.
Like Finn, I've been bitter and resentful towards Burger King this whole time.
7 years. He had his 7 years. We got our 7 years.
Burger King took everything from me with not giving me a red bun.
We had so much momentum 7 years ago.
And then poof.
Yeah, gone.
Poof.
Right. Yeah.
Gone.
Uh-huh.
We had to get state jobs.
That's what happened. And then eventually we came back to it when the hurt stopped.
We're a new podcast, by the way.
After that, we had a really nice video package for the 2023 Special Olympics World Games in Berlin. And then Byron's backstage with Natalia. He's like, what's going on? You lose now. And she's like, people say you're not the same. She said, maybe never being the same is a good thing. She's like, I've done this as me and it's gotten me nowhere. Maybe I don't even know how to be me anymore. And then she walks off.
Existential crisis for Natalia.
Yeah, that's pretty deep shit right there. And Byron's like, oh, well, whatever. Oh, hey, look, it's Sammy and Kevin Owens.
He just wanders off.
Talk about your loss last week. Kevin Owens is like, I was this close to beating the seemingly unbeatable, but that's okay. Tonight we get some payback. And then, gentlemen, Kaiser walks up, and Gunther and Ludwig says, payback is exactly what happened to Matt Riddle. Speaking of my friend, didn't you lose last week to the Ringara? And then Sammy and Kevin Owens, of course, losing his shit here. And he's like, oh, calm down, calm down. He's like, it took 3 of you guys to steal a victory from him. And speaking of Riddle, didn't he injure one of your guys? Normally there's 3. Where's Baldy? And then Pierce walks up and Kevin Owens says, oh, here he is. And so Pierce like shoots him a glance and says, what's the problem here, gentlemen? Sammy's like, there's no problem. We were just letting these boys know what they have in store for later tonight. And Kaiser says, confidence. If you're so confident, why don't you put your tag team championships on the line tonight? And Kevin says, is that supposed to intimidate us? Fine. If it means I get to kick your asses, then fine. We'll defend these titles tonight. Next week, I don't care. In fact, I'm going to get my gear. I can't wrestle. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts. I need different shorts and a different t-shirt. Come on. Which is really funny stuff. And then Gunther and Kaiser are both laughing.
Yeah. Gunther tries to like redirect his laughter to something that's actually character motivated.
Right, but it's clear
he's just laughing.
He's just laughing.
He just can't keep a straight face around Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
which I understand.
This is awesome stuff, man.
This was so good. This is so good. So then Sammy says, take a look at them the tag titles, because you're looking at the undisputed tag team champions. Understand that. And he walks off, and Gunther says, Mr. Pierce, you heard the champions. Now make it a title match. And Pierce just says, yeah, going to have to think about that. They all walk off.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a replay of the Bloodline bits from SmackDown. And then this next segment was really good. So it's like a dark hallway or corridor filled with fog or smoke or something, and it's Jinder within Desher. And Jinder said, we destroyed our opponents before the bell even rang, but our opponents still walk, so we are not done. Shelton and Cedric, you showed respect by the fear in your eyes. We offer you a proper match, a proper chance at survival. Just know every single fear of yours will be justified.
Yeah, so now they're going to get a real match. Cedric and Shelton
lose in 2 minutes in a real match.
Get destroyed, absolutely annihilated, yeah. This has been a lot of fun here. We had Ricochet versus Bronson Reed after all that. And this time, so Reed's on the apron. This is a really, really fun match, man.
Mm-hmm.
Reed's on the apron. Ricochet hits a kick, which staggers him. Ricochet tries a moonsault, but Reed catches him, lawn darts him into Shinsuke, because Shinsuke came down, because all these 3 guys are all in a feud.
Yeah.
And he chucks Ricochet back in, then heads up top. Nakamura then hits a kick, starts unloading on Bronson Reed. So we get a DQ finish, right? So afterwards, Ricochet gets pissed at Nakamura as Reed then flattens both men. He hits a lariat on Shinsuke, then heads up top. Ricochet hits a kick, and Nakamura hits one also. They team up on Reed to hit a big double suplex on him, and the crowd's like going crazy for this shit. This is doing wonders for all 3 guys.
Yeah.
It really is. And there's a really good backstage sequence after this, which we'll get to here in a moment. But backstage, Sammy's like asking Kevin Owens, he's like, what was that all about? The blow up. You've been blowing up a lot lately. Kevin Owens says, what are you talking about? And Sammy says, you're at a 10 right now. And he's like, I'm not at a 10. And Sammy's like, that right there. And Kevin Owens says, oh, that's a 6 right now. He says, look, it's been months of stress and frustration with the bloodline, and we're finally done with them. And now everywhere I turn, I see the weird tall guys, the one with the long neck, the one with no hair in the ears. I can't take it. They speak European. I don't understand them, which is weird because I'm French. I know they aren't saying good things about me. They're taller than me. And then Sammy says, I'm just making sure when we go out there, are you good? And Kevin says, I'm great. I'm going to get a water. Did you want a water? And he's like, yes, please. So he walks out and he's like, oh, he's good. He's great. It was funny stuff.
Yeah, it was funny stuff.
I don't know where this is going.
I don't know either.
It's amazing shit.
It is. Yeah, Kevin Owens is just about to crack under pressure all the time. It's great.
Yeah.
So we see Finn walking backstage. He's got a promo soon, but first, Adam Pearce is on the phone, and he makes the match, a tag team title match, the main event, Kevin and Sammy against Imperium. Then Ricochet walks up, and he's like, what the hell? I don't know what I need to do, but I need a rematch next week against Bronson Reed. And Pearce is like, I understand your frustration, but he's already booked for next week. And Ricochet says, who? Nakamura walks up behind Ricochet. And Pearce says, against him. And Ricochet says to Nakamura, explain to me what the problem is. Tonight was my fight. What you did isn't going to happen. I didn't ask for your help. I damn sure don't need it. If you do this one more time, you and I might need to finish what we started and see who is the last man before Money in the Bank. Well, then Nakamura says, Ricochet, it's my turn to succeed where you failed. Don't worry. You can have Bronson after I'm done with him.
Yeah.
I like that they're building up Bronson to be the kind of level boss.
Yeah, right now.
That everybody wants a piece of.
They consider success beating Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Like that's when you see what kind of reaction these three guys are able to get off of this feud. And it's very simple. It's not even, I know Money in the Bank is like there, but it's not about that.
Well, it is for Bronson. It is for Bronson.
Well, for Bronson, yeah. But like, so he's trying to make his case to get in, but everybody's trying, they're all just trying to get ahead, you know? Yeah. I love it. I think it's so good.
Yep.
After that, so Finn comes out, and that's when we get, the big controversial promo here. He says, Seth Rollins, the workhorse champion. I know you're here. We need to talk. No zingers, no sing-alongs, just facts. Get out here, which is ironic that he says no sing-alongs.
Maybe by saying that, he put the thought in people's minds, oh, we're going to sing along now.
That could be. So anyways, I'm not going to go through this necessarily word for word, but Finn's thing is 7 years I've been waiting to say this because there's all sorts of they're singing and then he's reacting and then he tries to go back to it and there's more singing. Yeah. So he says 7 years ago when I was a first round draft pick on Raw, I beat Roman Reigns my first night. 3 weeks later, I beat you to become the first Universal Champion. He addresses the crowd again. So Seth plays with the crowd a little bit, and he says, where is it? So Seth says, you've waited 7 years to say what? If it's so damn important that you want to ruin their party, get it off your chest. And Finn says, what should have been the highest of highs became the lowest of lows because of you. Torn bicep, torn pec, torn labrum. I'm not complaining about the injury. This is a tough business. What bothers me is they're singing about you, but they don't even know you. And Seth gets kind of serious. Like, what are you talking about? As I'm talking about, you took everything from me. My momentum, my title, a year off my career. You took everything. He says, now it's my turn to take it all back, to take it from you. I'm going to take your momentum, your title, and a year off your career. And I'm going to do it at Money in the Bank. And so Seth laughs. Says, I'm not laughing because you're singing his promo out of the building. I'm laughing because this is the Finn I've waited to see the last 7 years. Let me paint the picture. Inaugural Universal title match, Brooklyn. It sent us on our career trajectories that were completely different. Why? One of us got bitter. One of us got better. He says, I won't lie. I did bad things over those 7 years. But you know what else I've done? I've made memories. I've made history. I've made moments that these people will never forget. I did that because I changed. I rolled with the punches. I got better every day, and now I'm the greatest version of Seth freaking Rollins. You want proof? It's right here. The World Heavyweight title. If you want a shot at Money in the Bank, you're on. But I got to know which version is coming to London because this bitter shell of a champion, he don't stand a chance. But the Finn Balor that beat me to become the first Universal Champion with his arm hanging off his body, he's got a shot. Here's my question. Are you going to bring that Finn, or are you going to bring the guy who's been walking around the past 7 years acting like a little bitch? And then he storms off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Let me ask you something real quick.
Really undersells the singing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you something. So Seth has been, early on says, I've been waiting 7 years to see this Finn. Like this is the Finn he wants to face.
Yeah, right, yeah.
The way he puts it. But maybe that's the Finn he wants to face because he knows that's, in his mind, that's an easy W. But when you say that, generally the setup is, oh, that means I'm getting you at your best.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But later on, he says, the bitter Finn, no chance.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if either is a bit contradictory, or he's like, I'm waiting to face this bitter Finn because easy day at the office.
Seth's a fighting champion.
Yeah.
So, and I think in character, he appreciates putting on the best matches, the most competitive matches, right? So I think the idea is he wants the Finn that's yelling in his face about, I want what's mine and I'm going to take it. I think this is what he's been waiting for, this guy right here. Whereas the bitter Finn was the guy who was not a man of action. Hmm. That's sort of how I take it. But I see your point. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, next up, we had Raquel Rodriguez versus Shayna Baszler. Ronda got involved here to help Shayna win. So Raquel catches Baszler's leg and kicks her leg over and over, kicking her in the hamstrings before hitting a slam, hits the twisting sentons, looking for a power bomb, and then Ronda gets on the apron. So Raquel drops Shayna, goes over and tries to beel Ronda into the ring, but as she's about to do that, Shayna comes up from behind, rolls her up, and then Ronda presses her feet against Shayna to give her added leverage so she gets the win here.
Yeah, Raquel needs to beat feet out of the tag division.
It's weird that she's still in the tag division yet without a partner.
Yeah. She needs to leave and get beat by Rhea Ripley, and then they can build her back up.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we have a nice video package highlighting the career of the Iron Sheik. Make you humble. Alpha Academy makes their way down. We get Chad Gable versus Eric. Next up, this was rad because we've got Gable's doing pretty well against depth guy Eric. Otis is celebrating at ringside. Valhalla then charges at Maxine, but Maxine hits the arm drag that she was just working on with Otis. And she's like, I just did that. Look at that. So her and Otis are celebrating. Ivar's checking on Valhalla. Otis is like, yeah. And then Eric looks at what happens, sends Gable into the corner, but Gable reverses with a sunset flip and gets a win with a sunset flip. And Gable's like, I'm the greatest coach ever. They're celebrating. And you love to see it. I think this combination here is really going to work, man.
It is. It's pretty fun. Then we get a Rhea Ripley video package. Still know who she's facing at Money in the Bank. But this is good stuff, well put together. They do a great job on these video packages, WWE does.
This was awesome. This Rhea Ripley one was really, I was like, I don't know why they're running this right now, because it seems like something that should be playing during like one of the premium live event commercials while Peacock is running commercials.
Or like an introductory package of someone either who's coming up to main roster or someone who's about to make a return.
Right, or somebody's going to switch brands. This was awesome. This was so well done. And it also sort of illustrates just how like far it's so funny, like how it's almost hard to put your finger on what exactly Rhea Ripley needed to do to find like prime version of herself.
Yeah.
Because like aesthetically she looks the same, but there's so much confidence in what she's doing right now.
It seems a lot more like NXT, Rhea.
It does, yeah. But it's even like it's so much further than that. But it's way beyond like main roster, and like they were trying to have her be like nice person who like smiles and is pals with like Nikki Cross, and it's like that doesn't work. That's not who this person is.
They're just letting her be herself, I think. Like she's like her and Damian Priest, I believe, are like legit friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, so they have chemistry.
Yeah.
And it translates on screen.
It's just a person everybody's afraid of. And like, she carries herself like that. God, it's so good.
Yeah, she's great. So then Finn's backstage talking to JD McDonough and says, important thing is you aren't here to make friends. You're here to make an impact. And McDonough's like, yeah. So then Priest walks up and JD's like, thanks for the advice. He walks off, and then Finn smiles and says, congrats on qualifying for Money in the Bank. And Priest says, you're in a better mood. Must be the championship opportunity, so congrats to you too. And Finn gets real serious and says, when you win that contract, you wouldn't cash in on me, would you? And Priest says, dog, why you got to ask me that? You have my word, of course, I wouldn't do that. In the future, though, keep your word with me. We're talking about if I ask you to stay away from ringside, stay away from ringside. So I'm happy about this opportunity for you, but Seth has you up, down, and all over the place, causing tension with us. Make it worth it. At Money in the Bank, you end this.
Dude, I don't know. You want a big moment? Priest walks away from Money in the Bank with that title. And I don't think you're right. I don't think they would do that. But what a ballsy move to do that. And especially it's that thing where it's like, oh, you're putting it on a guy who's kind of unproven, but you have faith in him. That's a lot of been like Triple H's thing, is like he just has faith in his performers to go out and do what they're supposed to do. It's the whole Rhea Ripley thing.
Yeah.
And
the situation. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, he's got faith in Damian Priest. Look at how he treated him in NXT. He did the pointing finger, the pointing picture with him when the dude's in the hot tub with two honeys. I mean, come on. What were you going to say?
Oh, just maybe they'll do the thing where it's not necessarily that it's Judgment Day's plan. You get Finn, Seth, hard fought bout. Seth just squeaks out another win, and that's when Priest comes and cashes in. So you get, Priest winning the title and Finn looking on, a bit of jealousy, a look of, well, I softened up Seth for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so you just got a little bit of resentment there.
Oh,
just
yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. There's a million ways they can do that scenario.
Yeah.
Which would make it intriguing as hell, honestly.
Yep. So long as none of them lead to the breakup of Judgment Day, because I don't want to see that.
Ideally, they come out of this stronger.
Exactly.
Somehow, some way. Alicia with another 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Alicia.
Thank you,
so
Alicia.
kind.
Thank you so much.
Kind.
Thank you. So,
yeah. Seth is backstage with Kat.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
And he's like, what's up? And she's like, okay, let's talk about this title defense at Money in the Bank. And he's like, I am as prepared and as confident as a man can be. He says, question it, is Finn ready for me? Not only is he going to lose his mind, sounds like his buddy Damian Priest is out on him as well. But you know what? I'm feeling a bit frisky from that party out there. So let's just blow the whole thing up. Next week, live on Raw, yeah, open challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then he leaves laughing. Is that going to be Braun Breaker? Yeah.
Oh, I suppose it could be, yeah.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, I want you to come here to NXT, or I'll travel to you, and I'll get in the car, yeah.
I thought either Johnny Gargano or, I don't really want to see it, but Dolph, because they're both from Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to see Dolph. John would be good, John. Yeah.
Next week, Logan Paul's back. He's from Cleveland, too. Maybe he'll answer Seth's challenge, but we've already seen that match. Not interested.
Not interested, unless KSI is there in a prime ball.
But we've seen that, too, already.
Yeah, and it was really funny. I'll see that again.
It was pretty funny. Then we had our main event, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Ludwig Kaiser, Gunther.
Oh, we got a Blue Thunder Bomb finish, Larson.
I know. That rarely... This is like the second time I could think of that he's won with a Blue Thunder Bomb.
But it's been like 2 times in the span of 12 months or so, because I think it was less than a year ago, wasn't it, that he hit the Blue Thunder Bomb for the win?
Maybe.
It seems relatively reasonable. Like you said, that initial Whopper video was 7 years ago, and that doesn't feel like it.
Third. John Chambers says third time he's won the Blue Thunder Bomb. Still,
what?
In an 8-year WWE career, 3 times. Mm-hmm. Oh, he beat AJ with it. All right. This is a really good match. Go out of your way to watch it. It's a lot of fun. Imperium hits the Imperium Bomb on Sammy. KO pushes Gunther into the Ludwig Kaiser to break up the pin. So you get all 4 men down the ring. So Gunther rolls out. He and Owen start up hockey fighting. And then Matt Riddle makes his way down. And you got refs and producers trying to hold him back. Well, Gunther hits him with a massive boot, and that allows Kevin Owens to hit Gunther with a DDT on the ramp, and then back in the ring, Sammy, who's still selling the effects of what happened prior, out of nowhere hits a Blue Thunder Bomb on Kaiser to get the win.
Yeah, that's a good.
So John Chambers says 2018 and 2022 is when Sammy won the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Okay, 2022. Okay, I knew it was relatively recently. I don't remember the 2018 one, but I remember the 2022.
That must be
one.
the AJ Styles one. Or is that the 2022 one?
I don't know. I don't remember. I want to say the last one was AJ Styles.
That'd be 20. Oh, both versus AJ.
What? AJ loves the Blue Thunder Bomb.
You must.
This should be a finish. Hey, this should be your finish. You want to finish? You want to do that? We finish midnight. You want to finish it? Hold on. I want to see this real quick because I got to change the banner up here at some point. I want to see if they did the new render of Rhea Ripley yet with the new.
Maybe people just don't like taking the haluva kick. Maybe AJ just does not like the haluva kick.
Oh man, yeah, she does have that title in the new render, but it's the same render. Really? They just photoshopped that shit?
So wait,
I wonder, do they just take pictures of people like this and they just like put it under there?
Maybe.
Wow,
that's interesting.
Yeah, same render.
That is interesting.
I wonder if they already had the titles ready when they did these renders, because these renders are relatively new. I don't know why I care.
No, I imagine they just say, hey, act like you're holding the title. And that way it's just easy. They can just plop it in.
That could be. Yeah. Wow.
You think for in terms of efficiency of keeping the roster page up to date, that'd make the most sense. She loses that title.
Sometimes it takes forever.
A while.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyways, we have a bunch of
questions.
We
have questions.
Here
yes, we do.
From the friendos. Still no word on if Phil McDonald wants to try to get his job back, but I was like, hey, you want to zoom in and maybe talk to Larson?
No, I'm not talking to him. He's fired.
Oh, that's
end of story.
A hard no for you.
Yeah, I told you I'm tired. I'm grumpy today. I don't want to deal with it.
Tired, grumpy. If you're gonna say things like "I'm tired, I'm grumpy," can you please do it in the appropriate voice?
Listen, I'm hurt, I'm tired, I'm old, and I work with fucking children.
All I care about is the low. Like God,
I know.
boy, nothing'll beat the brawl out press scrum in the
Something
low
else.
voice.
Something
We're all
else.
learning here, Tony.
Quoth the Ravens asked here in chat, should the tag titles get redesigned? Yes.
Yeah,
I've never liked that design with the helmets on there that have their origins in the pennies.
Yeah, I'm not huge on those either. June Night Cheesecake says, have you guys seen the new Spider-Verse movie, Into the Universe 2?
If by new one you mean the last one, then yes.
Right. But new one is one more recent than that one.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I saw the first hour of it, but I'm also I'm like, oh, cool. So like Sony's giving them a different audio version of it because it was really low, the audio. So no, my kid got bored halfway through, and because it is a very talky movie, and so I'm gonna go back by myself, get a big old thing of popcorn and smuggle some candy in. Yeah,
there you go. JR Jr. here says, who should get their own version of the Burger King spider bun, and what would be in the sandwich? So essentially, who should get their own custom Burger King meal?
Judgment Day.
We're talking about wrestling?
Bun. Yeah.
Yeah. Purple bun.
Purple bun. That'd be so like the purple bun long boy chicken sandwich.
Okay.
That'd be cool. But like, I want some plastic toys, not the paper cardboard.
Yeah, not the paper crap that you got.
Right.
That wouldn't even stay together, really.
No, that was terrible.
Did you see so it's Grimace's birthday. So there's purple milkshakes at McDonald's. This Grimace meal is crazy. Do you want to know what's in it? I saw a commercial last night.
Yeah, because I got an email from Grimace. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but like these emails are nuts. It literally looks like a scam.
Yeah. So it's a Big Mac.
It says your friend Grimace at McDonald's, but it says your friend, you are, and it's all lowercase. It's like trying to be like, kids these days. And then it says, wanna party with me, purple heart. That's the subject.
Oh my goodness.
And then I go and I'm looking at this, and so I see a Big Mac, a large fry, a purple milkshake, and a bunch of chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, is it 10-piece?
1, 2, probably. It's just so
that is a lot. That's a lot.
Oh, 10-piece, yeah. It says I'm giving birthday hugs on Snapchat. Bro, I kind of feel like this should be what we get for tomorrow for the
Snapchat's still a thing?
I guess so.
Wow. When is his birthday? Tomorrow?
Grimace it is.
Or today?
When is his birthday?
Jorge says the Grimace milkshake is good.
What does it taste like?
Yeah, it's purple. So is it grape? Blueberry?
Grimace flavored? I know. I'm with you.
If it's blueberry, that might be pretty good.
Yeah.
Why are blueberries called blueberries when they're quite obviously purple?
Okay, Banya.
Tymore here says,
I know I got a brick wall over there, man. You need a brick wall in your room if you're gonna start doing that shit.
Tymore here says
grape nuts.
Yeah. Well, they call it Ovaltine. The jar's round, the lid's round. It's called Roundtine.
Roundtine.
Tymore here says, what key attributes make for a good-looking wrestling championship? Can't look cheap.
Yeah, right.
First and foremost. Yeah. In my mind, it can't be too bulbous.
Right, no bulbous.
No bulbous. It has to look distinguished, prestigious.
Yeah.
That means gold or something approximating gold, some sort of gems or something that can fool me to thinking they're gems.
I want it to look old. I want the gold weathered. To look like it's weathered, like it's stained. Like
you want what's it called? A patina on it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's like, kind of like a tarnish.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I want the strap to be brown and like
beat
looks
up.
Like somebody just beat the shit out of it.
Like somebody chewed on it, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, my dog got a hold of this thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the new World Heavyweight Championship, the new belts on SmackDown, they look good. They look distinguished. They look prestigious. Yeah. They satisfy a lot of things. And like I said earlier, it's a small quibble. I'd like some variety in the design a little bit. Same inspiration, just different takes on it. But I get it.
Yeah, right.
I get it. I understand. They want synergy across both brands. It makes sense. I understand. It's a small thing.
Alicia asked where my dog is. Lacey just sent me a picture. She sent me two. She went earlier, and she was outside sunbathing. And then she came in and she was laying near the backsliding glass door. So she took the day off from being in the office today. I think it's because Lacey's out there. She just likes being with us. She's like in a mom mood, I guess.
The weather's nice today too.
Yeah. Heel heat. We already sort of answered this as after watching your BK review, what other fast food items would you like to see in a different color? That one we already talked about, the Judgment Day.
Yeah, so purple bun.
Yeah.
So are we really going to do the Grimace meal tomorrow? That's a lot of food.
It's too much food, dude.
And I can't do milkshakes anymore.
And I'll be honest with you, it's not like a special thing. It's just like a bunch of nuggets and a Big Mac.
Big Mac, you can get it. And the only thing special about it is the milkshake.
No, we don't have to do that shit.
And that's the one thing I absolutely cannot have.
Yeah. No, we don't have to do that shit. That sounds like miserable.
Sounds like too much.
Yeah.
Blake Whitehouse here says, so what the idea behind the new women's titles being that it helps them if they're traded to different shows, wouldn't it be weird if the men's versions of the titles end up being on the show different than them?
No, I don't think. I thought the same thing. I think that's fine. I think that's the whole point is like they have the freedom now to go to whatever brand.
Yeah. And regardless if the undisputed champs are both in the same show or not, even the situation where you had the world women's champion on SmackDown and the undisputed champion on Raw, even then visually, there's just a little something different going on there,
No, I agree. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah.
There's not an issue there as far as I'm concerned.
Gwen Mendoza says, if you had the ability to add and remove one thing from Raw's set design, what would you do? I would add.
Their set design's pretty minimal.
I would add. Do they still have the skateboard ramp?
No, that's been gone for a while.
I'd add the skateboard ramp, and I'd remove. There's nothing to remove.
I'd add 1982 AMC Pacer to the set.
Okay, is it pristine or is it like a
junk? That shit's guaranteed peed on, man. It's the car giveaway they couldn't give away in fun wrestling.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Put that on stage.
Perfect.
Of course, no one wants it, so it's the forever contest essentially.
Yeah. Okay. So instead of like what I mentioned, like the old Raw skateboard ramp, it'd be an actual like somebody built it in their backyard skateboard ramp.
Yeah. There you go.
There's like some teenagers, like they just run up there and then security tries to get them out of there and they're like, no.
Elvin here asks, hey, Friendos, do you see the possibility where Finn beats Seth because Seth is doing movies at Money in the Bank and Damian Priest wins the briefcase and cashes in the same night?
I hope so. I don't think Seth's movie schedule is going to preclude him from being champion.
No, I don't think so.
Because I think Seth just loves being champion. I think he loves wrestling too much. That being said, I think it'd be awesome if that happened.
Yeah, it would definitely, especially with WWE being so focused on long title reigns. It would give an air of unpredictability to the World Heavyweight Championship scene, which would be a nice balance to what they're doing with Roman.
I agree 1,000%. Adam Bull says, you guys going to do a live reaction of the NFL finals tonight? I'm sorry, NHL finals tonight? No, I got like a million things to do tonight. But I'm pulling for the Knights.
Same.
I think this is going to be it, right? Aren't they up like 3-0 or something?
3-1.
Oh, okay.
It's game 5.
Let's do it. Let's get after it.
Let's close it out. Hold on. Mr. Sinister says, I had the Grimace meal yesterday and it's either Big Mac or nuggets, not both.
I like a little bit. Like they should add something weird in there. That's what I liked about who was it? Who did the first big collaborative meal like a hip hop?
Well, Travis Scott.
That's who it was. Yeah. I think I had that one, and I like it. It's clever. It's like it's very specific the way he likes it.
Yeah.
Grimace just wants like either a Big Mac or a 10-piece.
Well, it's the purple shake. It's the purple shake. It's what it is.
Yeah, but like Grimace should prefer it with the purple shake, or I'm sorry, with the Big Mac. Or like one or the other. You got to pick one, Grimace.
Something tells me, like here, if you really want to think outside the box, do a Big Mac, take the meat out, the beef out, put chicken nuggets in there instead of the meat.
Do something clever like that. Exactly. Take the Big Mac and put the fries in there, but have the workers do that so it comes like that.
Yeah. Or make hamburger-sized chicken McNuggets.
Yeah.
So the nuggets are made out of ground beef rather than whatever chicken concoction that is.
I agree. Elemental Giant says, who would be the coolest and lamest option for Seth's open challenge? Who'd be the coolest? To me, it's Von Wagner. I'd mark out most for Von Wagner.
Yeah. Be the coolest?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns. Imagine that.
That'd be nuts.
Roman shows up. I want your title now.
Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge
Rhea
me.
Ripley would be the coolest.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be really cool.
And the worst?
Worst? Dolph.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything more. Oh, God. I couldn't think of anything more boring.
Brandon Garza asks, what is your interest in the nearly releasing Fight Forever game? I want to check it out. If it's got its roots, its origins in the old THQ and 64 games, heck yeah, I want to check that out.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being most interested.
7.5.
Oh. I think I'm like a 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to get like, you and I will hopefully we'll, plunk down, sit here, play it for a stream or something. And then that's good, No,
my enthusiasm for it is greater than, say, what was it, WWE Battleground?
Oh, that was like a 2.
I literally played that twice, and I'm like, this game is utter trash. Didn't touch it again.
Didn't we try to play that on a 24-hour stream?
Yeah, we did.
That was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good. Alex Foster here says Steve uses Judgment Day or someone joining Judgment Day for his answers. That being said, who would be the worst person to join?
Miz.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah, it'd be awful.
Not without its humor, though. Maybe there's a better option.
Dolph be the worst.
Yeah, there's no humor to be had in Dolph.
No.
He's not a funny person.
No, despite the fact that he tries to be a stand-up comedian.
You had a better one than he did earlier. What did you say? Why are they called blueberries?
Well, they're quite obviously purple.
Well, they're purple. Doom, 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 doom. Bro Ceratop says, so Phil McDonald's employment status got Luthez pressed by Larson yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that? I hope you do see at least the humor in that line, though, because that was a pretty. I know he was being serious. Anyways, he says, is that limited to just his Stone Cold impression? Can you rehire him to do a JR impression? No, Phil McDonald.
He's
fired.
like
that. He's like that Richard Nixon impersonator from that Smash Zone episode that we did.
Yeah.
That's his thing. He can't all of a sudden change impressions.
No,
he's not a catch-all like a Rich Little, where he's got a ton of impressions.
He's got one act and that's it.
He's got one act.
No, fired. He's never coming back.
I'll see. Well, we can negotiate.
No, I don't want to even entertain the thought. He's not coming back.
Jesse Helsia says, who should be the one to take the title off Rhea?
Nobody.
Yeah, she's like in Gunther land. Nobody.
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Mayor Planet Houston says there's a new title revealed every show, it seems like now. What new belt do you want to see on the next SmackDown? New tag titles.
That's it. And then you're good.
That's everything pretty much, right?
That's everything. The U.S. titles. I love the U.S. title. I think it looks great.
Yeah, U.S. title's fine.
Deddy2339 says, is Cody Island looking better than WWE Land?
I don't know how,
WWE
because
Land is.
Well, I think it's just WWE. Cody Island, first of all, he put himself in a situation where he'd never be champ. He's gonna be champ in WWE at some point.
Right. Yeah.
So WWE Land is vastly. I mean, if we're talking from Cody's perspective, yeah, WWE Land's way better for Cody.
It's the promised land. Yeah, I'm out of questions. What do you got over there?
Jen here asks, is anyone else concerned that with Vince dipping his toes in the creative and the tension of the Judgment Day, that Finn Balor become the smiley baby face with no depth again?
I'd be shocked if that happened.
Yeah.
I would be shocked.
Yeah.
By all accounts, Vince is simply rearranging matches, match orders, and
changing some finishes.
Yeah. But seemingly he's like hands off on like character stuff, although apparently Maximel models are going to be changed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that was a Vince thing anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Wait, do we have Phil McDonald calling?
No, we better not. I'm out of here if Phil pops in. I'm out of here.
Okay, no, he's not back.
Out of here.
He's gone for now. I mean, you fired him, so I don't think he's...
Yeah, he's going to remain fired too.
Anytime soon. Who we got lined up for the SmackDown preview on Friday?
I don't know. Not Phil McDonald.
Okay. Maybe we'll go back like Triple H.
Why do we have to call anybody in?
It's a vital part of the show.
I don't think it is. If it's so vital, why is it at the very end?
The advice we got several weeks ago when we were thinking about starting a podcast was bring on guests, because then they will promote your show. And so that's what we've been doing.
All right, goodbye, everybody. No,
so I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, and then and then you put a little bit of trust in me. That's gonna do it for the show. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.